What's up, boys and girls? It's your favorite redhead, Chrissie Mayr here to talk some fire about Kathy Griffin. No, I feel like, guys, Kathy Griffin is back in the news. She's been endlessly getting canceled for what feels like years. This piece just came out in the New York Times yesterday. Kathy Griffin seeking a career rebirth since a Trump joke gone wrong in 2017 is asking who among the canceled gets a second chance and says that she wants to get back to making people laugh more than anything else. That's what's been robbed from me. Let's pull up this article because this did just come out. New York Times, the paper of records, so they must know what's up. So here she is looking, not poor. I mean, she's trying to get back on the D list. This came out, obviously, the 19th. When Kathy Griffin met last summer with a surgeon to discuss the removal of the upper lobe on her left lung and the cancer set in. Oh, okay. First of all, New York Times, they're already starting this with cancer. So they're liberal shit rag. The New York Times is already on Kathy Griffin's side. I wonder who she knows there. So, because they're already starting with cancer. She can't remove it. Can this wait? She asked, because I've got a gig. She was expected in New York to film a 4-episode role for Search Party, the HBO Max cult hit dramedy about the bizarre travails of a group of 20-something friends whose final season was released this month. It wasn't a run-of-the-mill opportunity. Search Party would be Griffin's first TV role in 5 years that wasn't based on the notoriety that enveloped her after she posted for a photograph holding Halloween mask of Trump's severed head doused in blood in May of 2017. Remember that, guys? She's been canceled ever since then. Griffin, known for her humor that is by turns bawdy and biting, abrasive and self-deprecating, but always skewering of celebrity culture, was never the biggest star on television. Read that? Never the biggest star on television. So it's like, okay, you're going from D-list and you have to acknowledge what's below the D-list, Kathy, because you're not always going to stay at the same level forever. But for decades, she was certainly ubiquitous. New York Times, this is what they do. They put in a lot of big words so that you stop reading. At least that's what happens with me. She played the snarky second banana to Brooke Shields in the NBC sitcom Suddenly Susan from 96 to 2000. This woman's been working for decades. And was the star and an executive producer of Kathy Griffin, My Life on the D List, which aired from Bravo for 5 years, from 2005 to 2010. She had a show on Bravo. Oh, but she's really struggling. She was a regular on late night talk shows with Letterman, Kimmel, performed in 20 comedy specials on HBO, Comedy Central, and Bravo. This woman has had a full career. So many of us comics would kill for this number of comedy specials. She's been working since she was 19 years old. She's what, 100 now? She's like, girlfriend's got a lot of opportunities her whole life. As a comedian whose job it is to push boundaries, Griffin had courted controversy before. All right, so they're giving some background about the D list. Well, when she accepted her Emmy in 2007 for the D list, she said from stage, "Suck it, Jesus. This award is my God now." I guess she was saying that to be funny, but like, I think you're gonna turn off a lot of your, like, I don't know. I'm not super religious, but I wouldn't go out of my way to say "suck it, Jesus" upon receiving an award. So it's like you have to know, like, even by saying something like this, you're gonna turn off a segment of the population. And I think this is the result. I think Kathy Griffin's current career is the result of this. She's slowly but surely been like chunking off parts of her fan base, right? And she cut off a big chunk with that bloody Trump head in 2017. I just think what we're seeing now might be a result of a lifetime of doing just that. In 2013, while hosting CNN New Year's Eve program from Times Square, she mimicked a sex act on Cooper. So this is interesting because after she did the bloody Trump head in 2017, she was fired from doing New Year's Eve with Anderson Cooper. It's funny that they didn't fire her after this. Like, she mimicked blowing Anderson on New Year's Eve, and CNN was like, "No, that's fine. We'll let that fly." I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the CNN New Year's Eve coverage for this past New Year's Eve, but like, Holy hell, like, they have no standards whatsoever when it comes to New Year's Eve. They had just a horrible display. It was like it was like Don Lemon in New Orleans, drunk and, like, being extra gay, and, like, I just think everybody checks out on New Year's Eve. They're just like, "Ah," like, no one's watching. Everyone's, I think, just, like, having a good time, and they just let the shit fly. But that's funny that that didn't get her booted from CNN New Year's Eve, but the bloody Trump head did. But the Trump photo landed her in a different kind of trouble. Remember, these two were BFFs, and some say rumored to be siblings, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole that I'm not going to go down in this video. Um, if you know, you know. So she was then replaced from CNN's New Year's Eve with Andy Cohen, who, like, I don't know if you guys saw, there was a viral clip just from this past New Year's Eve where Andy Cohen is, like, drunk, and he's like, "Thank God Bill de Blasio is out of office. He's the one thing that Democrats and Republicans can agree on is how horrible he is." Like, amazing clip. Like, it endeared him to me so much. Um, so it's funny. So they were gonna keep Kathy Griffin on CNN New Year's Eve, even after she, like, pretended to blow her possible brother. Um, there was a fury from the right, including the president himself, who tweeted that Griffin should be ashamed of herself. Oh, right, that was Trump's reaction. Um, Again, this is this long pity piece about Griffin. She received all these death threats, including dozens left on her aging mother's answering machine. I'm sorry, that's called being a person in the media. That's called being a public figure. You need to do a better job hiding your numbers or changing your numbers so that people are unable to leave voice messages on your aging mother's answering. That's not our fault. That's not fans' fault. That's not people's fault for, like, not liking you. They're gonna don't have your information so easy to find, I guess, or be okay with it. Others called into the I'm not saying this is okay. I'm just saying it comes with the territory. Others called into her hospital room of her sister Joyce, who's dying of cancer. Again, they love to bring up cancer, death, aging mother. Everyone should feel so bad for Kathy Griffin. Griffin was investigated, interrogated by the Secret Service. Yeah, remember when the Secret Service investigated, like, she was so appalled at this, yet we're not appalled at all the people investigated by Secret Service for literally just standing in front of the Capitol building. I wasn't canceled. Oh, she said she wasn't canceled in her by the way, she still lives in a mansion. Like this picture here. Oh, no, it's on a different article. Must have been on Twitter. There's a picture of her associated with this latest, cry for help. It's her in her Malibu mansion. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't feel bad for you, girl. You've had a long career. You've been very successful for most of it, and there's literally nothing stopping you right now from going out and performing. Griffin, now she's 61. Girl, how I mean, you would want to be like Betty White, successful and beloved until you're 99 years old. Well, you don't act like Betty White. You're like saying screw you Jesus when you get an award. You're not going to be loved by everyone till you're fucking dead. Sorry. You've done nothing but make enemies. And that's okay. You're a comedian. She's allowed to make enemies, but, like, don't then play the victim. She's brushing up against a litany of obstacles, guys. Partisan rage, sexism, uh, Hollywood's fear of getting pulped by association, the pandemic, pill addiction, lung cancer, her own reputation. Again, these are all things like, why are you this is a perfect example of someone who has lived their whole life by the confines of Hollywood. She is Hollywood. So it's either you need to kind of disavow Hollywood, be like, screw you, Hollywood. I'm a comedian. Comedians don't actually need Hollywood at this point, but I think she's more of a Hollywood person than a comedian, to be honest. Because she doesn't need Hollywood. You don't need Hollywood to be a comedian. As long as you can fill a room, like, you're good. But she wants the attention. She wants the glam. She wants the accolades. She wants the article in the New York Times. She wants more awards, etc. Oh, this is the picture I was looking for. Here she is, struggling, canceled. Poor Kathy Griffin. Look at her struggling to make a living. Look at this. No money coming in. Just one Buddha statue when she could have tons of Buddhist. She could only afford one Buddha statue in her in-ground freaking pool with a sweet view and Asian see-through wall back here. I just want to get back to making people laugh. She does not lack money. Guys, she doesn't lack money. She says her net worth is $50 million, but she craves the one thing that has driven her for decades: work. You sound like a selfish bitch, Kathy Griffin. You're rich. You have a mansion above ground. This doesn't look like it's street level. You don't have crackheads wandering into you. Nobody's jerked off in front of your window, Kathy. Not saying that's happened to me, but that's happened to me. She's fine. Not one person should feel bad for her. Griffin's house is a modern, boxy white structure. She bought it in 2020 for $8.8 million. Yeah, sorry, girl, don't feel bad for you. So I'm reading this article. I'm feeling upset. I'm being like, what is she after here? Why is this pity piece out on the New York Times? And then you start to look deeper on Kathy Griffin, and you start to look at maybe earlier articles of Kathy, and you realize, oh, this is her grift. This is an article from 2017. Kathy Griffin complains she's unemployable and being blacklisted from Hollywood for the Trump photo scandal. Again, this is the same bloody head we all know. This came out in 2017. Kathy Griffin can't stop whining. At least they're being honest. New YouTube video, the comedian complained about not being able to find work after she's blacklisted by Hollywood for posing with the severed bloody head. I'm getting a lot of hate online from trolls who think I've lost my mind. So this is interesting. I'm going to play a little bit. Jesus, COVID. Omicron. Hold on. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm coughing. I can't take all this bullshit. I'm going to play a little bit of this Kathy Griffin State of the Union. This is from 2017 after she was blacklisted. I just want you to listen to this.
What's the date?
What's the date?
It's Saturday, November 18th, 2017. I kind of lose track because I'm on a world tour. All right, so what I want
She's on a world tour. Does she sound like somebody who's desperate for work right now? She's already starting by saying she's on a world tour, so I already don't feel bad for her.
Is I'm getting a lot of online hate from trolls who think I've
First of all, girl, who is doing your makeup? A fucking drunk clown? This is too much. You can't do this much eyeshadow and this much brows and this dark of a lip when you have.
She looks like Andy Dick.
She does look like Andy Dick. She does. You can't do. I don't know who's doing. And all this blush. You got to tone it down somewhere. You got to pick eye makeup and then go like just a gloss, or you do a bold lip. She's doing too much. She's doing too much.
My mind. And I'm admitting I lost my mind. So it made me a star in the first place. But
already she's not genuine. This video is already a performance and not a genuine any type of apology, because she's already doing this. You don't need an act out in a video like where you're trying to connect with people.
I just want to be honest. Like, as far as what we're going through and hoping this is a turning point for feminism and women's equality.
See, Kathy Griffin does nothing but pander to groups that this is what happens when you're Hollywood, right? And you don't come up like a lot of us independent comedians do. We come up like in the streets. No, we're doing road gigs. We like see the country. We see who we are hitting it off with, right? Like we see the audiences. We have people coming up to us after shows. Like we know who likes us. She doesn't have that. She's been Hollywood her whole life. So she doesn't know what to do when she's not pandering to the left, to LGBT, blaming sexism for her lack of success. So she immediately launches into who is to blame for her lack of success, which is not her.
Pardon me. I just want you to know that at 57, for me, it's not a marathon. It's a sprint. So I don't have a lot of time to be patient. And, I read today that my
so arrogant
Dunham is sticking up for some male writer that was accused of sexual harassment.
So she's bringing up who right away? Lena Dunham. What does Lena Dunham have to do with you holding up a bloody Trump head? Again, just more pandering.
And her female partner, Jenny Connor, who Judd Apatow handpicked for her, and nobody's ever handpicked anybody for me.
Oh, no. Kathy Griffin, you've never had anyone do anything for you other than your decades of success in Hollywood. You have management, girl. You've been selling out. Like I said, what has she won? She had 20 comedy specials. She's won Emmys. No, but no one's ever helped her.
I don't know the details, but my first instinct is, girl, that's not helping the movement. And it's
the movement.
And the sun is coming out of the clouds as I say that.
She's so full of shit. She was saying how like she doesn't have that much time. She needs to make money. She needs to get work. But now she's talking about sexism and the movement. So she's trying so hard here to pander.
So, don't be too hard on Lena. Don't be too hard on me. And I just want you guys to know I'm fully in the middle of a blacklist. Like I am in the middle of a Hollywood blacklist.
Fully in the middle.
It is real. I am not booked on any talk shows. I'm selling tickets worldwide, which is really hard when you don't have any kind of a television platform.
Yeah, but she is selling. She just said she's selling tickets worldwide. Girl, that doesn't mean you're canceled. People still want to see you. Shockingly enough.
And kind of nobody has your back and everyone thinks you're crazy.
Whose back do you need? You have a camera. You have worldwide name recognition. You can do clubs. You can sell out theaters. Even in 2017, she could sell out theaters.
A handful of people think I'm kind of on to something. So I just want you guys to know, when I get home, I do not have one single day of paid work in front of me. And
horrible.
People that want me to go back and start in clubs and do 10 minutes again, I don't mean to be an asshole, but no, I'm not going to do that. I've worked
tickets worldwide.
Yeah, she just said she is selling tickets worldwide.
Why is she lying?
What is she?
She just contradicted herself.
Right, she just contradicted herself. Like, oh, I don't have any gigs lined up for the next year.
But I'm selling tickets worldwide.
Right. Well, she said I'm not booked on any talk shows. I think that's what she is angling at. She's not booked on any talk shows because she's so Hollywood. She's such an arrogant piece of shit. Thank you, Frank.
I'll go away now.
And she's a liar. No, don't go away.
Way too hard to go back.
She just said it's way too. She is above. She's so desperate and she's so out of work, but she's above doing what all comedians do at some point, which is playing clubs. Some would argue that is what being a real comedian is just playing clubs, but she's above that.
I can work for free and do the club scene again.
She won't work.
This is
Girl, you're not going to work for free. You can sell out theaters currently, even at your worst move, which was holding up the bloody Trump head. She could still sell out rooms. So she's full of shit.
Because I've been blacklisted. So I actually got another fundraising email from the great Norman Lear, and I just had to write back and go, yeah, none of you can ask me for money anymore.
She's so
my
broke.
Legal bills are through the roof, obviously.
Oh my God, legal bills.
Because I'm doing something I really believe in, and I still say the end goal.
Who's that guy who took all those risks, who got freaking arrested every other week back in the day? The comedian who was Lenny Bruce. Yeah. What do you think his legal bills were like? He didn't give a fuck because he knew part of comedy was truth telling. And if Kathy, you think that holding up a bloody Trump head is truth telling, well, then you need to stand behind that and you need to accept what comes with it, which are legal fees in this particular case.
For younger women and younger LGBT folks,
LGBT,
disenfranchised people of any kind, can watch me survive.
Who she is equating herself with, disenfranchised and LGBT. Yes, she had a big LGBT fan base, but she can't go. She hasn't even gone 3 minutes yet, and she has to mention these groups because she's pandering hard.
With a sense of humor. So I just want to say, I have a show tonight in Vienna. I never thought I'd be able to
Oh my God.
Vienna.
I'm struggling so hard. I have a show in Vienna.
I can't believe that there are hundreds, if not thousands of people that don't even speak English as their first language.
Yeah.
As if I do. That's my opener.
Girl, she does not know struggle.
So there is hope out there.
She has not struggled.
There's a lot of forces coming against people like me that are trying to do something. I mean, look at Harvey Weinstein hired Kroll. By the way, Nick Kroll's dad started that company, Nick, so he doesn't have to worry about money. And some company called
You don't have to worry about money. Kathy Griffin, you do not have to worry about money. You live in a multi-million-dollar mansion.
I'm already on the Inapro list and all this other stuff. So I don't want anybody else to have to go through this. So watch me do it, hopefully with aplomb and a sense of humor. And I'm on stage
What an entitled,
I cannot wait to do my show.
Arrogant.
I only have 7 more shows left on this tour, and I'm not going to lie. It's going to be hard when I go home, I don't have one show in my future.
So hard.
So no, I don't do. I know.
You know what? Just book another show then.
I don't want to
such
be
a liar.
50-person club. I did that for decades.
She's above it, guys.
I think I should be able to get my life back. So I know I took a picture that offended a lot of people.
She's not even sorry.
This wall of crap has never fallen on any woman in the history of America,
guys,
like it has on me.
This is about sexism. This is not about her poor choices and her not being able to read the room, as comedians like to say. It's about sexism. It's because she's a woman. If a man had held up that bloody head, I'm sure it would have been similarly distasteful.
So, and by the way, I know about Eartha Kitt, and I very much encourage you to look her
Eartha
up.
Kitt?
But even Eartha Kitt didn't have like Fox News.
What does Eartha Kitt have to do with this? The reason for mentioning Eartha Kitt is she's now pandering to like older Black people because she was like an old-timey jazz singer. Like she sung no, not At Last, that was Etta James, but like I think similar era. So just by dropping that name, boom, that's another group of people she's pandering to.
Although, by the way, I'm bowing
She's
down
very
to
good.
Eartha Kitt.
Oh,
And
bowing
anyone else
down.
who's ever been blacklisted.
She's
So
so
just
she's
you
such a
guys, just
snake.
try to have some compassion. I'm just
Compassion
trying
for
to
this millionaire.
bring laughter to people. That's all I want to do. I wish I was on television. I have 2 Emmys, which apparently doesn't mean anything. The Hollywood Reporter did a really cool cover about like not shutting women up, and that same publication
Oh my God, I want to throw up.
me from hosting or doing the
It
opening
disinvited
remarks
me. I'm a victim.
of their famous annual breakfast. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting bullshit from all sides.
She's complaining. You
But
are. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to show any more of this. You guys get it. You guys get it. She's complaining. So this is 2017, complaining up the wazoo. She's the world's biggest victim. Like, girl, no one is making you do comedy. No one is forcing you to pursue this industry. Like, you could retire comfortably and just sort of like retire, but no. So that was 2017. So here I'm painting a picture of this is what Kathy Griffin does. So this is in 2018. Kathy Griffin, this is after she was canceled and so desperate and such a victim. Kathy Griffin, this is 1 year later, basically 2018. I'm in shock that her Carnegie Hall comeback show sold out in 1 day. Wow, that really sounds like a canceled woman with no career in front of her. You guys see what's happening here? For the past year, I was convinced that my career was over. Tweets comedian whose career was upended. How is it upended again? Because it seems like you've been working the whole time. Because of the photo, the Trump photo. Here she is again. Looking ratchet. Comedian Kathy Griffin is in shock and so grateful, so shocked that her show at Carnegie Hall, which is 3,671 seats, sold out in 1 day. Oh my God, let's feel bad for her. I'm in shock. For most of the past year, I was convinced my career was over. She's felt moments of despair. Like, how good has your life been? How much help have you received that I just can't, as someone who has like failed a lot in the 10, 11 years I've been doing it. Like I don't think she has failed enough, or at least not recently, to actually be grateful and appreciative of her success and her lasting success. She could make a boneheaded move like with the bloody Trump head and she still sold out in a day. So grateful. It's been months since the thing, and now she's back. Love you, Kathy. So much support. Bette Miller, so happy for her. You were in show business longer than the Stanford rapist. Again, they have to. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. They have to immediately compare themselves to a rapist. Like they have to immediately compare themselves to somebody else who's done what they think is like worse. So they can never just like accept what's going on. Bette Midler, oh, what timing? Like they're all up each other's buttholes. People talk shit about Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. This is what they do. Like it's like throwing up the bat signal. I swear to God, like she must run some sort of secret Hollywood mafia because, like, you know what I mean? Pete Davidson throws up the, oh, I'm with Kim Kardashian. I think that's like I feel like she's probably a Hollywood mob boss. People talk shit about them. I will tell you something. In the past year, they have shown me a lot of love and support. Like, what did they have to do with anything? Yeah. Like, this isn't just like a mistake. Oops. Do you know how much production goes into something like this? Like, she had so many opportunities not to do this, but the hatred from the beginning of Trump's presidency allowed her to think that this was going to be a wild success. She lives in such an echo chamber and she's surrounded by other fellow elites and Hollywood people that she had no clue that the effect that this was really going to have on the country. And that was one of disgust and complete disdain for her and people kind of writing her off for good. She thought she was going to get applause. All she wants is to be loved, accepted. It's not about performing for her. If it was, she would be in clubs working for free because she can afford it. She's a millionaire. She's got money. If she really loved comedy and it was about making people laugh, she would be in clubs working for free. Instead, she wants to be an influencer. She wants to be like, I don't know. She wants everyone to kiss her ass. She wants other leftist Hollywood types to kiss her ass. So she's full of shit. So this is 2018. Oh, and the last article I'm going to show is one from 2019, just to paint a picture of this is what Kathy Griffin does for attention. This is the life cycle of Kathy Griffin. Here we go. And this is lastly in 2019. Back to complaining. Kathy Griffin complains she was left unemployable and uninsurable by widespread outrage at her infamous photo with Donald Trump. Again, this is what the left loves to do. They love to obsess about Trump. Here she is, 2019. Still upset, still like bringing up this Trump head thing because she probably got like the most attention she got in a while from it. But she is spinning it like she's a victim. But I bet she got more work because of it, to be honest, because that's the left. They loved it. They had to publicly shame it, but behind the scenes, they're all probably patting her on the back. Kathy Griffin has said that she's left unemployable, uninsurable, threats. A man approached her with a knife. Big deal. No, not that that's, but you know what I mean? Like, she can probably afford security. Griffin initially apologized for the stunt, but later revoked the statement and now stands by the photo and insists it was free speech. So 2 years later, she's publicly saying it was free speech, although I don't think she was ever sorry. I think her people were telling her to apologize, and she just did what they told her to do because she's not sorry. Now she released a film, partly shot on an iPhone at the height of the scandal in an effort to tell. Again, she is capitalizing off of this every step of the way. You can be as offended at that photo all you want. It doesn't bother me at all. It does bother her. She wants nothing more than to be loved and accepted by everybody. Well, at least like the whole of the left. But you know what? This is a woman who's very out of touch with the American people and I guess her audience, like, or maybe what her audience is this and she thinks it's this. And she's turning everybody off by these bonehead moves. But I want people to know that I didn't break the law. If you take a photo like that, you didn't break the law. Girl, we all know you didn't break the law. You just turned everybody off. I didn't violate the First Amendment in any way. If you take a photo like that, you didn't. Okay. You didn't break the law. You didn't violate the First Amendment. But people don't like that. And people don't like you. Guy came in with me again, complaining. So this is what she does. She complains about not getting booked. And I think she does this before she has a big, I'd be curious to see if one of these pieces comes out before she's about to sell tickets, because remember in 2017 or 18, she was, oh God, no one's hiring me. But then 2018 was the article. Oh my God, I sold out in one day. Same thing with 2019, complaining again. And we're seeing now in 2021, she is again complaining about being a victim, not getting booked. So that to me says she's probably about to drop a big show that she's going to sell tickets for. And I don't know. I'm just seeing a pattern here with Kathy Griffin. I don't like it. I'm going to go to some super chats. From Shit Baby. Ew, that red M&M got a whole lot more ugly. Yes, it did. Yeah, I feel like Kathy Griffin could be like the new trans M&M. Russell Hall. Wow, Carrot Top has really let himself go. Good one, Russell. Russell is back for 2. To be fair to the New York Times, Kathy G is cancer. She's so arrogant. Nobody is guaranteed, especially in this business. I mean, God, I shouldn't have to be the one. She should know this. She spent her lifetime in this business. Nothing is guaranteed. Just because you're very successful at one time doesn't mean it's going to be like that for your whole life. Like, you have ups and downs, and she just seems like a spoiled freaking brat every time I read one of these articles. Torgo the White. Oh, noes. I think I've gotten a frostcopied. I do not know how you intend to top that impersonation, but I look forward to you trying. You are now the biggest super chat I've given to an FNT member. Oh, thanks. And no terrible tattoos. None yet. Thanks, Torg. I'm going to call you that for short. It is Ma'am Productions. Hi, Chrissy. I'm funny. If you're funny, you should have made a funnier super chat. Matthew Hammond, 2 Christie live streams in one day. What an awesome day. She is too good for comedy clubs. If you were to imitate her, how would you do it? Oh, you're talking about Kathy? I think I would start with like a very like I would look at her face for a while and I would try to get down like how she holds her face, which is like, she's trying to smile and be funny, but she's very full of resentment. And I would do a ton of makeup. I would just cake it on, have to buy probably a short red wig and cut it. And she would just be like on the verge of snapping at any moment because I think that's the energy she's giving off. Like hates her fans, like truly hates people, loves Hollywood, loves the elites, hates real people because she's above performing for them in clubs. Evan Griffin, can we talk about her physical state, drug problems? I mean, I don't know all what she's on. In one of the articles, it did mention she had a pill problem. That wouldn't surprise me. Speaking of pills, oh, it does say ambient. It's ambient space noise. Chrissie is literally the only redhead worth listening to. Can I ask what red pulled you? Just wondering, keep up the great work. Oh God, it was a few things. Politically, it was talking to Larry Sharpe in 2018. That's what sort of like helped chip away at my sort of like liberal shell, I guess. And then Sam Tripoli helped. Like I did Sam Tripoli's podcast in March of 2020. So like right before the pandemic. And that opened my eyes to a lot of this like other deeper, darker stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. Young Pei, my only Asian fan. Hey, Chrissy, that lady is hard establishment. Yeah, hard establishment. She's a lifer, a Hollywood lifer. And she's like, she's just a spoiled brat. You're 60 something years old. She's had it good since she was 19. She's got enough money to live off of, but no, she demands to be loved and celebrated until she's dead. Sorry, girl. There can only be one Betty White. And Geek, we trust. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. It was crazy to see no dead tooth foreskin on Friday Night Tights. Guess she fixed it. I don't know. I don't know if I'll bring Frost back. If it makes sense, I'll bring her back. Young Pei Chang. Thanks, buddy. I'd guess her shows probably sell the same way. Ex-politicians sell big book deals. Don't copy her expression or you'll turn into her for a few days. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my take on the Kathy Griffin stuff. I think she's full of it. I don't respect her. I think she's a spoiled brat. She's more Hollywood than a real comedian, than a real entertainer. You know what I mean? She seems like she's like above it, above getting down with the people. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.